up? You're getting punched in the dick. There needs to be more Street Shark references. I say who? That's funny as hell.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Underqualified and Overcompensated Podcast. I'm your host with the least, most, always trying to be better, but obviously falling short. Rose. To my left, your right, with the highest production value in all of Costa Rica, Rico.
Hey, that's me. And I'm in my RV right now while I'm glamping. That's my story.
A little bit on vacation, you know. Yeah. And then reading from the note card that the Taliban provided to him and is doing fine and no one should worry about him at all, Firth.
I'm safe. My family loves me. Trump 2024.
I knew it.
Are you sure the Taliban has you?
I'm not sure anymore.
So,
are there red hats?
so many red turbans everywhere.
Make Afghanistan great again.
Oh. That's not better.
This is not what we talked about in the pre-show.
Nope, but we always derail immediately.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I was thinking all week on what we could talk about.
Sure, yeah. I was too.
I couldn't really come up with much. I've been really busy. I've been doing the second round of the COVID vaccines.
Sure.
Very
working
important.
up 8 hours, right? And training, and the only thing that I can really think of, I made the announcement that I have a jiu-jitsu fight coming up, so that was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
If you guys want to support me, you know, you can't buy tickets because you're not in the area. Sponsor me, which pretty much means just give me money, because it's a $200 buy-in, and then if I win, I get money. So, I need
enough to pay me back?
This is some socialist bullshit.
It is.
Hey, give me money, and if I win, I'll go make more money than you gave me.
Yeah, it's sponsorship, because this is a low-level white belt jiu-jitsu tournament.
Cody, the information that you just told me makes me want to overrun the government.
Does it? Huh. Well...
And I'm the first person to ever think of that idea.
You would. That's a very... That's a very interesting idea.
Yes,
no one thought of it. I got confused. I was looking at Andy's comments.
I'm the first person to think of that idea in like 4 days.
To run over the government, to take over the government.
I feel like kicking my feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk and taking her mail.
No one would ever do that. Who would do that, really?
No. I mean, if I ever had the chance to be inside the Congress building, I think I would take a podium.
Mm-hmm.
Or a seal.
Like a gift bag.
Yeah. Like a gift bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you attend the Oscars, and no matter if you're nominated or if you lose or if you win, everybody gets a gift bag. But in this case,
get some makeup, an iPhone,
a podium.
and Nancy Pelosi's podium.
I think
Anyway.
it would work.
We've got to take her. Andy wants to spar with you. No big deal. Me and Andy are Facebook friends now. No big deal.
Oh, Jesus, we're commenting in our own comments?
You have to engage.
Fight me, Andy. I warn you, I'm very fragile and I bend easily.
Yeah, he's got bird bones.
Yeah.
Bend over. Easily.
Yeah, right.
So
what do you guys want to talk about?
I mean, Cobra Kai season 4 came out, or 3 came out.
You're right.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It
was about this season was about a lower group of people coming together to fight against a higher level of people that were kind of taking over the area, and they were just trying to be seen and heard and make their qualms known to the higher power of government and or Cobra Kai.
Wasn't it interesting, though, the scene where the two groups meet for a meeting to discuss their future, and then the bad guys allegedly break into the house, start breaking things. This is Cobra Kai, not the Capitol.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're not alluding to anything? Because I know we've made fun of some
they're
things.
like, hey, we're gonna come together to beat this, ominous power. We're gonna come together, be one, settle our differences, and then that ominous power, Kool-Aid Man through the fucking window and beats the shit out of them.
Well, Cobra Kai did it first.
They did.
I totally forgot about that until just now. Yes, Cobra Kai.
You think a bunch of Trump supporters just watched Cobra Kai and they're like, we can do that.
We can do that.
We can do that.
Hey, karate,
those
right?
kids don't even have weapons.
When I was 10, I got this.
Right? What are they going to do? Call me on my double guns? Huh? Yes,
I think that went far enough. If you have not already picked up, there may have been an event this week that I was watching closely because throughout the day that I was vaccinating, my phone was blowing up.
Yeah.
From fucking Rico giving me updates from another country.
Yeah. Yeah, same here.
Like, I was so busy.
Sorry for keeping you informed.
I'm constantly giving vaccines, grabbing patients, boom, 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 and my phone would go off. And then, I would have a second and look at it, and I would have 25 messages from you two, and then just beats. You were my news source. And then my Fox News app kept going, ba-down, ba-down, ba-down.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And Fox News, meanwhile, is probably like, and I get, hey,
strike first, strike hard, no podium.
Let me give y'all just a heads up. I'm gonna shit on everybody tonight. Okay, do you understand that? I am shitting on everybody.
We've been trying to build up to that, but you just got to go into it.
Yeah, if you've ever seen this podcast, come on, you know it's better than this.
Yeah. So your Fox News alert is probably telling you non-black people creating a protest somewhere, and it's like, oh God, Fox News, what is it? And so you look at it and you're like, oh, it's all white people. Oh, they're very angry. Oh, Trump. I can't.
So I will give a brief synopsis. Basically,
sure.
Please do. Please give a brief synopsis on what happened a few days ago.
Yeah. To lead up into it, right? Basically, what it started off with was President Trump held a rally outside in D.C. with a bunch of MAGA and Trump supporters, and he was basically touching on. And I watched this at lunch right before everything happened.
Because nothing makes you hungrier than a MAGA rally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I'm making my salad, I'm listening to it, and he's talking about the basic, the basic 3 food groups of Trump. Trump, and Trump. Yeah, fake election, but also don't forget to vote in Georgia. But fake election, vote in Georgia. He won, and why not Biden? Right? Those ones. And he's talking. They're all excited. He finishes his thing. But I remember in there a bit he was talking about. He happened to mention.
He sure did.
Down the street.
He sure did.
They were having a meeting in Congress to officiate the election of President-elect Joe Biden. And then he ended his rally.
He included a sentence in there also saying, like, we're gonna march on the Capitol. He said,
he did mention
I might be missing a few things. We are going to march on the Capitol building. I think he said something about they're going to be happy to see us. Some of them won't be happy to see us, but we'll see.
That sounds
just
like
throwing that out there. Also, I want you all to remember, I'm the only Republican on this podcast.
No, I'm a registered Republican. That's not true.
I'm a registered independent, so.
Anyway.
Either way.
Keep
that
that in mind. So this criticism.
A shit ton of MAGA supporters then marched upon Congress. This is when my phone started to blow the fuck up.
Why?
Apparently, it's like when you go to a nightclub and they won't let you in. And so then you tear gas them, beat them, and force your way into the club. Like you do on a Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to Berlin.
I go out to a rally and or bar or football game. I bring tear gas. Don't know about you guys. It's in my everyday carry. Cell phone, wallet, keys, tear gas.
It's in my bug out bag.
Yeah. My everyday bug out bag.
What is it?
They said tear gas, but the videos they were showing were clearly dudes popping off fire extinguishers. So
I also saw cans of bear mace though.
So this is where I think.
So you said tear gas, and I saw smoke in some of the pictures, but then I also saw very clear cans of bear mace, yellow fluid come out and nailing the cops.
But the thing is, I've talked to my MP buddies, and like that type of mace sprays everywhere. Like everybody gets saturated by it. Also, you are aware that they detonated a device in front of the Congress building.
Yes.
So I didn't know they detonated one. I know that they found a device out in front of the RNC.
They detonated it. There is a really
that just shows you weren't paying attention to my news brief in the chat.
Yeah. It really shows. It shows that if you're not in Costa Rica or Germany, you don't know what's going on in the world.
I don't know.
So they found a device. I think, and don't get me wrong, because I'm not Kenneth Branagh or another news person.
No one knows who that was.
Kenneth Branagh. He's a Shakespearean actor.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not Walter Cronkite.
So
a better reference.
So I'm not him. But from my understanding is they found a package in front of the Congress building and they blew it up. And there was a really cool picture that I found on Instagram of them like blowing it up in front of the Congress building. And
the police did?
Yeah. They detonated it. It's EOD. That's what they do. They clear everyone out and they go and they blow it up because that's the safest way of getting it out.
During the rally or before the rally?
Yes.
Okay, so before everyone went and stormed Congress, they
I don't know the time frame, but there was definitely a package found at one of the Congress buildings that they blew up.
That was the RNC.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
There were two.
Yes, there definitely were two. Correct. There was definitely a package found at the RNC and the DNC, but I'm pretty sure that the picture I saw was in front of the Congress building because I know what the Congress building.
I'm just looking at it right now. It was near the Capitol building, which is at the RNC headquarters. Like
maybe that was it. Maybe it was just the angle that it was taken at. Okay.
Yeah, it's like right there next to it.
So yes, there were packages found at these places by these people who were riled up, let's say.
Yeah.
And who's to say who riled them up, really?
I mean, subjective.
Seems like you're being cagey.
Yeah.
So President Trump definitely, he gave a rousing speech give a rousing speech, and then these people decided to move forward after being inspired by
And
the
then-
words said.
This happened.
I can't watch this shit. I hate watching this.
So-
I literally every picture, some of these pictures, like, oh my god, I've been in that room. I've been in that room.
Oh, have you?
Just touring the Congress building? Yes. So when I lived in DC, the girl I dated, oh my god. The girl I
Was it
dated,
Ivanka Trump?
no, no, she knew someone who worked in that building, and we were able to get like a personal tour of the Congress building. It was awesome. That building is so historical and beautiful, and there's so many things just even like tucked away in corners that are awesome. You know, like there's a hallway, and they're like, "Oh, you see these burn marks on the side?" And they're like, and you're like, "Yeah, what are those from?" And you're like, "Oh, it's from the British from 1812." If they stand there, you know, they preserve it. The building is unbelievably historical.
I mean, so they got in and they then pushed past Capitol Police,
Yep.
going towards.
Push past.
Okay,
Push.
well, they didn't push past. They fucking pushed them. They beat the shit out of them and moved them out of
I
there.
think
Right.
that happened as it got worse because I was watching initially, like I was watching this shit live. I was on YouTube in my tent, you know, big deal, no problem. And I'm watching them do the confirmation, and all of a sudden, Vice President Pence, he hits the freaking gavel that they gotta like disperse, and then they cut to the footage. These dudes are just walking around, like
Well,
it
yeah,
was
so
like why
they
are all
can't
these MAGA dudes just walking around the Capitol?
They can't keep them from going in to the Capitol, but I think from what I read, when they finally started going towards the hearing building
Not anymore, Andy.
or the Congress room, that's when they stopped them because you obviously can't go in there while there's an active meeting of Congress. But you can walk around the building. That's so they can't necessarily keep this large mob. Like it just happens to be a large group. But once they got inside and they were insinuating that they were going to go towards the fucking room, that's when Capitol Police started stopping them. And then that's
Sure.
when, you know, this shit started happening.
Hold on, because I have a thing. So yes, anybody can approach the Capitol. Like it is a public place. You can walk around there, you can take pictures and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But once you get close enough, you can't just enter the building. There's layers of security before that. There's actually parts that are fenced off before you can get close to there. And so for them to get to this room, this was the first room I went to on my tour. You have to get through like 2 other rooms before that. So what it means
really?
is that there was so many people and there was so little police. And I get this. Everyone's going like, where was the police? Where was the police? They were outnumbered like 30-1. So what do you want them to start doing? Is just discharging their weapon into the crowd? No. They were overrun because I don't think, and both of you, please correct me if I'm wrong. And anybody in the comments, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think anyone saw this happening. I don't think anyone saw the president saying, this is what's happening. We should march on the Congress building. And then every single person went, yes, we should. And they did it.
So I don't think that he said what he said, but I don't think he planted the idea. Like this was already pre-planned, I think. This had to have been because
I mean, if they were pipe bombs,
I don't.
Yeah, there were pipe bombs or packages already
there were pipe
placed.
bombs, then it had to be
I-
pre-planned.
I think this might have been pre-planned by maybe a couple of people. And I'm saying
Did you
like,
see the pictures
like
of
10 to
the-
15.
Did you see the picture of the people with zip ties?
No.
I mean, I got zip
So-
ties.
No, but you don't
Yeah,
carry
yeah.
them around with
Who
you.
doesn't have zip ties? I need to hang my Christmas decorations. All right.
So once they got into the chambers, there were pictures taken of dudes. They're walking around and they got their vests on and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But several of them, not just one dude, several of them had white zip cuffs attached to their belts. Like there was a plan. There was a group that planned this before President Trump said that's happening over there. So I think that maybe the larger crowd, he was like, hey, and said what he said and planted that idea. But I don't think he started it. This was obviously pre-planned. Like it's not a coincidence that these packages that exploded were found a block away.
I agree. And hold on, because this is where I'm going to turn off my Donald Trump sign. You're telling me that these guys planned this without him knowing? Like, you know what he talks about. He talks about the election not being real. He talks about him winning the election
without him knowing, as in, like, he didn't know, like, what he was saying would then cause that. Is that what you're saying? Or that bomb and everything was obviously a part of his plan? What are you trying to say? Are you saying that he knew about all of it? Because I don't think that.
No, absolutely not. 0% of that. I do think that he knew what he was saying.
Hold on, sorry.
He knew people would walk
There's
to the
a place that these guys are going to meet. It's on Parlor.
He knew people would march to the Capitol building, though. He knew if he said, we're going to march to the Capitol building, he knew people would be like, oh, they're marching to the Capitol building. We're going to do the same thing because this election is fake, right? Joe Biden didn't win the election. The states need to ratify this. All the things you read about, all those people who gathered there to hear him talk believed in that. I do not think that Donald Trump or the majority of people had the intention of storming the Capitol building.
So I don't think the mob in its entirety had a plan to storm. I think there were, I'd probably say the majority of the people there were there for peaceful protest, potentially.
I think they were there to support Donald Trump. I think they were there to support Donald Trump, and they were there to support states ratifying the election.
Yeah,
I think that's the case.
That as they march over to Congress, if you then take that big group where 90% of them were just going to stand outside Congress, maybe even try to get into the chamber, like outside the chambers and yell and shout, probably just outside the building. And then you take the 10% that was there and had a plan.
Yes.
And then storms it. Everyone else is just going to fucking follow them.
That's what I mean. And that's that mob mentality that everyone knows is the wrong thing. Everyone goes, holy shit, we just breached the Capitol building. Should we go in? Should we go in? Should I go in? Let's go in. And they did it.
I mean,
and that's the 90%.
If everyone in that group was ready to do this, they would have been planned, they would have been coordinated, and they would have gotten a lot further than they did.
Yeah, they would have been a lot quicker.
100%.
And so my jiu-jitsu professor was talking to me about it that night, and he had a theory that it was all a conspiracy, and that it was all.
There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, so his theory was that it was all fake, right? Just to stir up story, because his defense of this is the fact that only one person was shot. And he's like, if this was real, right, and they did storm it, more people would have been shot. And I was like, no, I don't think so, because
absolutely
what was your ROE when you were in Afghanistan?
Absolutely not.
Like, do you think they're they're not just going to open fire on a crowd of people?
Considering rules of engagement, and we had a year of considering rules of engagement and the fact that we had a year of protests going crazy, I wouldn't doubt if Capitol officers, security guards were told to handle things lightly in order to avoid something escalating further. I mean, every time.
Did these guys have open carry? Because I don't think that's allowed in DC, right?
No. God, no. You can't own a gun in DC. Are you kidding me? You cannot. Except for special circumstances.
Except for the government.
Yeah.
These guys had guns, right?
No.
I didn't see one gun from the protesters / mob.
No. Okay. So you cannot have a weapon in DC except for special circumstances.
Well, yeah, if you cared about the law and legalities,
okay. So but that's what these guys were. They were there for a rally. They weren't there to storm the Capitol to begin with. And that's
the people who were there to support. But as we said, there was probably a group, more than likely, 100% there was a group that was there to do exactly what that happened.
So there were 70 arrests made? So maybe some of those arrests were because of carrying weapons. I don't know. News is coming out little by little.
Yeah.
I have yet to read that an arrest was made because they were carrying a weapon that was not allowed in D.C. You know,
Well, I mean,
in all
it
honesty,
would be
I lived
open
in D.C. No. In D.C., I lived in D.C. If you have more than a slingshot, you're going to be arrested. That's just the way it is. It is very liberal.
No,
So,
I remember
that one congresswoman
I had my
is
weapon
dealing with
me,
that fight to bring her own weapon to Congress. Like,
Yeah.
she wants to carry her Glock, and they're like, "No, that's crazy." After this, they might let her carry her Glock.
Oh, the congresswoman.
Yeah. Andy put up a story, but I can't pull it up. So I don't know if you're pulling it up on your end or
I
not.
have it right here. So, real quick. So this is what it says. It says a comprehensive timeline what led to the coup attempt, what happened on Wednesday, and the resulting fallout. This was put out yesterday.
By who?
By GQ. So that's a generally unbiased news source. Not what I would think would put this out, GQ, but they got to be unbiased because they don't.
This is a TMZ print edition.
I'll be honest with you. It's better than the. I've read the Post because I read the Washington Post. I do not read the New York Times because I do not like being talked down to by by who I'm reading. So let's see. Let's do it. Let's see what GQ has to say about a day in America.
So
go ahead, pull it all the way up. Let's read along.
They're sitting there like Hitler called the troops to stand to.
All right, so Wednesday's attack on the U.S. Capitol is already one of the most unforgettable events in American history. The Capitol building was last breached when British forces invaded during the War of 1812. 209 years later, a mob of insurrectionists attacked the building at the behest of none other than the sitting, but on the way out, U.S. President Donald Trump.
That might be a different way.
Yeah,
that might be a different way of putting it. Yeah. He did not say to attack anything, but that's okay.
Yeah, right.
Continue.
Trump called the mob to the Capitol building to thwart the certification of Biden's election victory through tweets dating back to late December. What followed was a nearly unprecedented attack on senators, members of Congress, Capitol Police, and journalists attempting to document the scene. Details continue to emerge in press reports and on social media. In an attempt to corral the events of this day, GQ presents this summary of the events. Sorry, that sentence right there.
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry. I was reading something because I'm getting information as well. Can you say that again?
Yeah, in an attempt to corral the events of this day, GQ presents this summary of the events leading up to the day.
They were wearing three-piece suits and wonderful Cole Haan shoes. All right?
Yeah, here's
the wild dual costume is going to be in season. You'll see.
Yeah, here's the in-season outfits for winter and also insurrection.
What men really want, the Wild Bill outfit.
Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 10 outfits to wear in the post-apocalyptic wasteland that is 2021.
GQ, you are the cosmopolitan
yeah, you're right.
of fucking men's magazines. All right, no one's looking to you for breaking journalism.
You know, actually, next we're going to read an article about all of this event from 17 magazine.
Hell yeah.
That really insightful.
I also want to know the 13 moves that'll drive them crazy.
Hey, listen, tune into Uno, all right? We're breaking the news for you from GQ and 21 and less, or whatever the fucking shit is.
Forever 21.
Yeah. I don't give a shit.
37 and over.
Jesus, y'all make me want to defend these people. Christ.
Everyone's talking about Forever 21. I'm looking Forever 32.
Sign me up. Anyway,
so
Cody, continue.
The call to action. Despite Washington Police Chief Robert Conte's claim that there was no intelligence that suggests that there would be a breach of the U.S. Capitol, explicit planning took place in the weeks leading up to January 6th on social media, Trumpist message boards, and sites like 4chan. And I'm sure Reddit was probably in there as well. And of course, Parler.
His Reddit got removed also. He got blocked on that too.
Organizers across different groups, including Stop the Steal, the Donald Message Board, MyMilitia.com, which is just
militia
of hearted, great people, and a Facebook group called the Red State Secession. were spurred by a Trump tweet on December 23rd that directed his supporters to attend a big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there, will be wild.
MyMilitia.com is the best website I've ever heard of in the world.
Is that for people who want to be a part of a militia or who want to be inside of the militia?
Because Rico fucking nailed it. And you just want to be like, my, woo!
Wait, it's already taken to the Biden.
Yeah. Right? What do you have, Joe Biden? Huh?
Your insurrection doesn't have to be lonely at mymilitia.com.
Oh my God. Is that a farmers only?
I tried. It didn't work out.
I'm sad I know about it. I'm sad that I recognize the tune.
It's everywhere. So,
That's true.
To continue, once Trump said, be there, Ari Kovler, a political consultant who studies alt-right activity online, told GQ they interpreted that as a call to action as their marching orders. Of course they did, because Proud Boys stand down and stand by.
Stand by!
Oh, they stood by. Yeah, right? Planning started that day when leaders of a Stop the Steal group wrote in a text to supporters, we came up with the idea to occupy just outside the Capitol on January 6th. So this has been going on since 23rd. So they were already planning to then go from the rally to protest outside the Capitol building. They even called the event the Wild Protest and created a dedicated website for it, wildprotest.com.
That's fine. That's all of this is fine.
Domain name
all of
almost
this
as quickly as Rico does.
But the thing is, all of this is fine.
Like style.
All of this is fine. We're going from this to this. We're going to protest outside of here. That's fine. No one has a problem.
Yeah.
No one has a problem with peaceful protests. Hey, you are my government. You work for me. And that's the thing that these
protest, right?
They forget this. They work for us. We elect them into office. This is not their job. They work for us. And I told this. I think. Okay. You're right. You're right.
Fred, you're gonna get me riled up.
Cody, please continue. I'm gonna go pee and then fill my drink. And then
because I have things to add to that as well, because I agree with sentiments of this. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Joe Pesci's on the cast.
All right.
My militia.
So it has
be stuck in my head all night.
Calls to action grew increasingly violent. On the Oath Keepers Forum, where the former and current pro-Trump military personnel congregate, members attested they were ready to die for my country once again in any effort to stop the certification. General uppity talk from couch operators, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, couch operators love them.
Yeah. On the Donald Forum, plans grew increasingly specific. Posters discussed that there are only 2,000 Capitol Police members, a number they can easily overwhelm. 4 plans were posted alongside directives: find the tunnels, arrest the worst traitors. One posted, according to the Daily Beast, one person planning on attending the rally wrote a post titled, "Today I told my kids goodbye." So as I said, a small group of these people we're fucking planning this, and maybe not even a small group, maybe a larger group than what we have in our head. Not 10, 20 people. I'm talking about a couple hundred. Because the whole rally
so many
was
people,
a couple thousand, right?
So many people post shit online though, and they say, "Dude, I'm going to be there for that." Hell yeah!
Well,
and then
show up. Yeah, but I don't think this was started by 20 people. I think this was.
Do you really think that chicken nugget looking motherfucker in the wheelchair was there to cause insurrection, or was there to protest?
But, man, the shit I've seen from friends I have, and they're like, "Yes, let's take over the government. I got my guns," and they look like fucking meal team sticks. Like, come on. So, they grew increasingly specific. Posters discussed that there are only 2,000 they planned. Advanced Democracy, a nonprofit research group, found that 50% of posts on the Donald win the Donald.win, a gathering place for Trump supporters created after Reddit banned a similar channel, featured unmoderated calls for violence in the top 5 responses. All this bullshit about not bringing guns to D.C. needs to stop, one post read. This is America. Fuck D.C. It's in the Constitution. Bring your goddamn guns. Another forum member wrote, armed with rifle, handgun, 2 knives, and as much ammo as you can carry. Discussion wasn't contained to message boards either. Plans were made on the popular with the far-right social media platform Parler, where one user asked followers to vote for who they wanted to see dispatched first between Nancy Pelosi, John Roberts, and Mike Pence. That doesn't actually surprise me at all.
Yes, it does.
Oh, no, it doesn't surprise me. No.
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 You see that people wanted to kill Donald Trump on Twitter every fucking day. Every day when I get on Twitter to see how crazy the world is according to Twitter, people are saying all sorts of shit. And this was even before the coup.
But yeah, it's not surprising that someone on there was like, hey, let's vote who we're going to kill first. Like, that doesn't surprise me. This is the fucking internet. Like, come on. We have 12-year-olds telling other 12-year-olds to kill themselves. You don't think their fucking parents are doing this shit?
Well, don't listen to them 12-years-olds, all right? Live your life.
Hey, we're killing the 12-year-old.
Honestly, guys, sometimes I don't know what to say. Like, honestly, like this has put me into such a like introspective mode that sometimes I don't know what to say. Well, because everybody looks at me because I am very outspoken Republican, correct?
Yeah.
We have been on this. We have talked to a presidential candidate, and the both of you have been like, "Oh yeah, they both suck." Libertarian forever, and I'm sitting there like, no, MAGA, right? Am I wrong?
That sounds racist.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I just drew him into my house, and he's just like. In the mirror. But am I right? Am I wrong? Like,
yes.
I have been the defender of
sulfur and spray tan.
Exactly.
The most that you said is that the most that you said is that the Libertarian Party has offered some smart points that you can get behind, but you've never once said that you are anything but a Republican.
Even though you've been hard Republican, you've also never been against admitting flaws and some minor key points of your viewpoint or the Republican side.
Correct.
That may have, been up in the air. As we all have been, even though me and Rico we supported a libertarian candidate.
Mm-hmm.
We admitted some fall points in that. Like, I supported Joe Jorgensen, but there's some things the libertarians want to do that I wasn't 100% for. And we're all about that on the podcast. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, we're all about being who we are.
But this,
I'm not going to shy away from it, and I'm still not. Like, this happened. And I'm not going to shy away from being a Republican.
Yeah.
But holy shit, man. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with both of you and anyone who's listening or, watching or whatever. I was so embarrassed. Because I'm sitting here going like, oh, no. In previous episodes, I'm going like MAGA, Donald Trump 2024, blah, 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 blah. I don't think there's ever been a moment. I'm 36 years old, and there's never been a moment where I've been more embarrassed. I don't think people have been more embarrassed of a president since Watergate.
Yeah, I would think so, because even like.
But no one died in Watergate.
Well, no, and that's another topic, right? But
no one died. People died in this. There was a 14-year vet in the Air Force who died from this because she was shot in the chest because she believed that Donald Trump was the true president and that she got someplace that she wasn't supposed to. And everyone's like, where were the police? What were the police doing? So I have a friend.
So this 14-year Air Force.
Hold on one second. I have a friend who is dating a DC police officer. And they were not prepared for this. They were not thinking that this would turn into that, right?
Yeah.
I could see that.
So
Nothing like this has happened in such an incredibly long time.
Are you kidding me? What makes you think that these fucking ignorant people are going to storm the Capitol building while they're in session?
Well, because if you just think any protest, right? Just the fact that it hasn't happened doesn't mean it couldn't have happened. If this was the other way and it was a BLM protest, right? Or think of all the protests that we've had in the past.
Yeah. The things that they're saying.
Violent, right? And not because, and I'm not saying that the BLM is violent. As with this one, there's always a small group of fucking dickbags who then make it worse.
That's what it comes down to.
Most of everyone's there to just prove a point. And there's someone that always makes it worse with any of the protests that have happened in the past year. But if you just took those protests out of any of the cities that have happened this year and put them outside of the Capitol building with something like that happening, 100% they would have tried to get in that fucking building.
It would be insane.
Yes,
and I get 100%. That.
A protest turned into them overtaking a police station and 6 blocks in Washington.
So that's...
If those people there would have then taken over the Capitol building if they fucking could have?
So here's my thing. Here's my opinion. As soon as I read about this, and as soon as I educated myself about what happened, I was like, well, yes, that's what the right is going to do. They saw from the last year that these protests, these kicking in doors, and these breaking windows, and these burning buildings, they get attention. Of course you're going to learn from that. So of course the right is going to learn from the left. Is that this is how we get attention. And I'm not saying that anything is right, and nothing's right. Everything's wrong. But like they saw that, and the media covered it, and they're like, oh, these protesters, they felt that this Starbucks on the corner was wrong, so they burned it down. Well, no, they were just angry. And that's what these people are. They are angry. They're angry that their guy didn't win re-election. They're angry that the guy that they think is defending them didn't win re-election.
Well, that's what. So
they turned it to the Capitol building, and they hurt people, and they killed people. Like,
yeah. Well, so people I've talked to, they're like, "How could this have happened?" Or this shouldn't have ever happened. I'm like,
it shouldn't have.
No, I don't agree with.
But it's been building to this.
It's been building. Rico, it's been building so hard. Whether you're left or you're right, as soon as you get the result that you don't want, you set fire to something. Like, I get it.
That's where we're at.
So, like, this person was killed by the police, and that police officer was found. We can't try him. He's not guilty of anything. And people get upset. And that's fine, be upset. But what you set fire to a Minneapolis police station, and everybody is watching that. And I'm not trying to make excuses for these people just because they're on my side. You know what I'm saying? They're not on my side. But like, they look at that.
I don't think they learned from watching the other side in the protest. I don't think they saw that and like, oh, that's how we get attention. I just think that's a flaw of human nature. That you have people that are inhibitively violent.
No.
And if you get people together and you rile them up in any situation, any political group, any topic of discussion, and you put them together and you have people who then are more prone to violence and anarchy,
I think it's both.
Inhabit the other people.
I think it's both.
That's what's going to happen regardless. I don't think they went into this going, you know what we have to do? We have to break shit because that's how they're going to listen. I don't think that's what happened. I think they got together and then you just had people like, hey, we're going to break shit. You guys going to break shit too? They're like,
but dude, think about this dude. This guy got arrested by the FBI, right? Because he broke into Nancy Pelosi's office and he took something from her office.
Yeah, by the way, that guy was from Idaho.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they got him today.
Yeah.
Not that I'm so. By the way,
the FBI got him.
Not the fact that I'm condoning the breaking in, but if you're gonna do it, me personally, straight to Nancy Pelosi's office, and I'm putting my feet up. Like
That's the thing.
that guy was not there to break shit and or steal shit or like abduct people. That man went in and was like, photo up, and just sat in her desk.
But he did, and that's fine. That's fine. They didn't. Rico, you're 100% correct. They didn't. This dude posed. This dude put his foot up. This dude took mail from her office.
Had fucking mask down.
And then when the FBI came in, they're like, "Oh, I took the letter because I bled on it." Like he's making like all of you deserve everything that's coming at you. The federal government is coming at you with everything they have, and you all deserve it. Do you understand that? You all deserve it.
Everyone is about to get the twisted tea of the U.S. government.
I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I would never vote for her, but she is the Speaker of the House. I can't believe
she's back. She's continuing to be Speaker of the House.
Yes, she's the Speaker of the House, and she evacuated because you got into her personal space. You know, and part of me, oh my God, part of me, the super Republican part of me is like, these people should face you. Like this individual who is sitting here making rules, this person who is making rules for you should face the person who they're making rules for. But they don't. And that's the thing. That's what this, I don't know what you want to call it. What do you want to call it? Debacle? Disgusting scene?
I mean, I've been going with insurrection.
A big poo-poo nasty.
It's disgusting. Nobody's okay with it.
Big dookie no.
But it shows that the people in politics are so out of touch with the people who they represent that they're willing to storm the building.
Well, like so, it's part of it. So what I was trying to get at earlier was people were talking about, this should never happen. Like, why would this happen? And this is what happens.
It shouldn't happen.
It's to a point, right? So if they went and they protested out front and it got a little violent like the other protests had, but they never stormed, it wouldn't have been a big deal. There would have been a protest, and that's what should have happened. But obviously what happened did, and they went inside. And people were injured and a person died. But if you...
I think 5 people died by now.
I haven't heard anything on the additional.
I thought it was just 2. That was the Air Force vet and one of the federal officers.
They're calling like 5 people dead. They have no idea. They're not claiming where those people came from. Who knows? It's the fucking media, so no one knows.
My thing is that people are, particularly like a lot of the snowflake memes, and people will be like, "Oh, you called us snowflakes and this, that, and this." You have to understand a bit of empathy and compassion of the fact that these people truly and 100% believe that their election was stolen. Like, these aren't people who are just upset. They're not whining. They're not like, oh, my guy didn't win. They think that it was stolen, that it was a fraudulent election. And if any one of us 3 standing here right now thought 100% that we were being fucked by someone who had too much power, what would we do? We would fight them, right?
Yes.
I can't disclose that.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
Yes.
And I've done it in my career. I had someone who was over me and was trying to enforce their power, and I went through the appropriate channels and fought back, and I won. Everyone has done it in their job. You have a manager who's being a dickbag and being overbearing, right?
Yes.
And you take that and you expand it into the broad spectrum of politics, and that's what happened. Do I condone what happened in the Capitol building? No. But you have to understand that these weren't just whiny Republican dickbags who are like, let's go. That they think 100% that there is a corrupt government staunching their voices and trying to take over and ruin everything that they love and hold dear. And a part of that, of course, is our current president. And then also everyone who then seizes upon his speech and expands the hate. And I'm not saying the news sources. I'm saying the individual people who have influence within social media.
Yes.
And bigger groups. And they take that and they expand it. Do I personally think that an election was stolen? No. I don't.
No.
But I can understand why those people,
I don't.
they had a need to do what they did, because if you felt like you were being oppressed, like people talk about the Second Amendment, right? What is the Second Amendment for? It's to fight against a tyrannical government. These people think they have a tyrannical government, whether they're correct or incorrect.
We're close. We're
Like,
close.
people think that
They're not wrong. In the many aspects they've been wrong about, they are not wrong about that one.
We're so close, guys.
We are underneath a government, like I wouldn't say tyrannical, but we are underneath a government, the House and the Senate, that does not give a shit about anyone.
Nope.
The 3 people sitting in front of you, the 5 people watching us, they don't give a fuck about anyone that is below their standard of life, which is the House and the Senate and all of their lobbyists around them. They don't give a fuck. They give a shit about themselves. They don't care about the representatives who elected them into office. And granted, there is probably 1 or 2 that actually truly just want to do a good job for their state and the representative.
There's probably a handful.
Yeah, there's probably a handful, but those people are not the ones who have been in for 30 plus years.
No,
not a single fucking one of them.
Which that should
People who have been in for 30 plus years, they get shit about themselves and themselves only. Because if they cared about their state, they would have passed their buck on to someone else a long fucking time ago.
Yep.
Because they would have gotten tired of all the bullshit.
Yep.
Like, even generals in the army who have a 40-year career, they stop eventually because they're like, I'm
exhausted.
Yes. They're like, I'm done. I
This
can't.
is bullshit. Why am I still doing it?
Right.
I'm still doing PD. Like, this is some dumb shit.
Holy shit, my alarm went off at 5:30? Why?
I'm 60. What am I doing?
Right?
And so these people, they have established power and they don't give a fuck about you. And honestly, when people are like, well, the answer isn't to break shit. Well, obviously protest isn't working. And I'm not saying go break shit and kill people. I'm just saying that if you have a government that doesn't give a fuck about you and they then control everything, and if the elections are fucked or lobbying is so severe that basically elections are useless,
which it is,
then there's no changing of power. So how do you do that? You overthrow the fuckers that are doing it. France fucking did it. I don't like France, but they fucking did it. I'm not saying we need to.
They had the balls to carry through with it. Great guys, we're not even as good as France anymore.
Hey,
I'm not saying that we need to storm the building, the palace, and kill all of the fucking leaders of the government like they did back in France during the revolution. No. But I'm saying it's getting not to that point, but it's getting to that sentiment that the government doesn't care about you, and we need to get all of those fuckers out. And people are feeling helpless. And that's what happens. Violence is when you start to feel helpless. And you try to enact the very last bit of power that you have. And that is with your fists. Once your words stop, you have no other power than what your physical prowess can do. That's it. You have your words first, and your intellect, and then you have your hands. That's the last ditch effort.
I think it sucks that it got to this point. But we're at this point now. We're at a point of like no return. So I'm hoping for the hope of progress that these politicians that have been there for as long as they have, maybe at this point, because you can't go back, maybe fear's a good thing. Maybe they start to realize that they work for the people, or people continue to see them that they're not doing their jobs. And if they didn't like what happened in the first round, I sure as hell guarantee the second round ain't gonna be much better.
Well, and that's what they were trying to do, or that's what the point of the protests are, right?
Correct.
To make them apparently aware of what the will of the people is, and with a little bit of fear, and the fear is not a physical fear. The fear is of we are your supporters.
But that's what it got down to.
They were physical fear. Those motherfuckers are hiding their keys.
I'm saying
you talking about?
You physically intimidated. You physically intimidated these people.
In whole is not physical fear. It's fear by power of numbers, saying that we are the people in power, not you.
Yes.
To listen to us.
It
with became you. Physical fear of we're going to storm your workplace and then handcuff you and then potentially do terrible things to the people who make these decisions.
Yes.
If they wouldn't have had enough, and then people are like, well, how did they get in the chamber, right? The police, once they found out that the members of Congress were out, fucking you do you, boo-boo. Like, if the people that I'm in this building to protect are now no longer in this building, this is your fucking building now. I don't fucking want it anymore. So the state police then let them go, and that's how they got into the chambers, and they stole the podium or whatever.
What's state police? DC is not a state.
Well,
there's Maryland coming up.
It's in the name.
Metro. But that's the thing. Is DC is not a state, so you don't have state police. So do you have the Metro Police coming in? Do you have the transit police coming in? Are you calling everybody in?
I don't live there. I used the wrong name. I don't know things. Don't use me. It's not like I read this off a page. I was going off the top of my dome of what state police. I'm from Idaho. We have one police force.
I lived there.
We have one police.
It's not a big deal.
Police. There's one man. He has a Mountie hat and he's on a horse.
Excuse me. I used to live in DC.
Sick, bro. Right?
I used to live in DC. So.
All right, Snowden.
Oh,
I've also been in the Capitol building. Which one's the dude that carries the goddamn golden staff?
Bob Barker.
Is that? No. Is that the sergeant of arms?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So there's like a golden staff with a fucking eagle on it, and it might be the sergeant of arms. Like brings it in to start the ceremony and carries the fucking thing out. Back in the day, way back in the day, I was at this dude's house. Like he's like related to my uncle, my married to uncle. So I was in Washington also at the Capitol building, and then we met this dude at like the after party, and like I didn't know how big of a deal he was when I was that young. So that's my only thing. So, okay, continue.
You actually met Nancy Pelosi. That's crazy.
No, it was apparently Billy Joel according to Rambo.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes, Billy Joel is the Sergeant of Arms of Congress.
He was just drunk as fuck.
Yeah, but I mean,
that was Billy Idol.
With all of this, I hope that with this, that the not the fear. I don't like the word of fear, but I mean that's what it is. I hope that this action and the actions leading before, right? All the protests that have happened in 2020 and this one.
Yes.
I hope it does light a fire under the ass of our government and let them know, hey fuckers, we're actually paying attention now.
We're
I know
not
for the
happy.
past 10, 12, 18 years, we have not been paying attention. We have fought your wars. We have gone to places we didn't want to be, but we went there. We have listened to all your laws. But guess what?
PT at 0630. Every goddamn.
Yeah. Now we're listening. We're paying attention. We're watching what you do finally, because guess what? It's the fucking internet, and we all know how to use it. And everyone's a fucking fact checker now. So we know what you're doing. Because before, you couldn't look at what they were voting. Now I can pull up every voting record of every single politician who's ever been in Congress or the Senate and know exactly. Yeah, and people are still getting on board with it because people still don't just give a shit. As we saw with the last election, because we're on here like, okay, you all are supporting Biden over Trump, fine, do you, but have you looked at either of Biden and or Kamala Harris's voting records? Because you probably wouldn't want to support them if you did.
But they did, and that's
fine. Real quick. Uh-oh. Is it fuzzy on my end?
No, we're here.
Go ahead.
So a couple hours ago, the Pentagon released that a couple classified zipper notebooks were taken from the Capitol Hill. So I'm kind of interested to see where that goes.
Classified notebooks?
Yeah, fucking laptops. Zipper access books were taken from Capitol Hill.
Because they're just sitting on someone's desk, not properly secured.
No.
I'm really interested to see where that goes at.
It's gonna go nowhere, Rico. I'm glad you're excited. It's gonna go nowhere.
Oh no! It'll go on the internet.
Oh, it'll go on the internet, and then no one will give a shit. Because everyone will just be like, "Shut up, you Republican hick," and everyone's gonna be like, "Shut up, you."
No, they're gonna call him a racist, and then the Republicans are gonna be like, "See, aliens are real," and it's gonna be like some sort of boring ass spending budget.
Aliens are real, you racists.
No, they probably are. I don't know.
Species.
No. We're talking about extraterrestrial ones, not Mexicans first.
Oh, they don't exist. Stop it.
That's right.
Mexicans are extraterrestrial aliens.
I don't know.
At first, like, Mexicans don't exist.
No.
Yeah,
They're
they're
called.
called for the Democrats to take power.
They're called wannabe Americans.
Not anymore. They're fucking leaving in fucking truckloads.
They're leaving.
Well, of course you would. Of course. Oh, goodbye, Rico. Of course you would. No, actually, no. Never mind.
Bad was the illegal immigrants are leaving the country they fled to go back to the country they fled from.
They're like, oh my god, it's so much better there.
Don't do an accent. That's bad. That's racist. That's definitely racist.
Yeah.
Stop it. I've seen Speedy Gonzalez.
I've watched Boys in the Hood. It's fine.
Yeah, right. It's fine. I have a black friend.
Yeah, George Lopez is one of my favorite comedians.
He's not. He's terrible. He is not
He's
funny.
pretty bad.
He's not funny. George Lopez is
He's not great
funny.
now, but
No. When George Lopez stopped stealing other comedians' materials, he's not funny. Yeah.
I said George Lopez, not Carlos Mencia.
Nah, they're all the same.
No, they're not. that was racist.
I said what I said. I don't care. So here's the thing. I don't care like what I say about this shit. That shit, right? We're all in agreement. Like that shit on Wednesday was crazy.
It was crazy. Like I was gonna go sleep. I was bent down. I was getting ready, and then I fucking put on YouTube and see that shit happen on live. And I'm like, oh shit, it's going down.
It's
So I have a question.
fucking
for you,
yeah.
you can maybe explain this, and I know, but you can explain it for the other people.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Pence is now an enemy of the state. So how did that happen?
Mike Pence did exactly what he was supposed to do. He read the
He
Constitution.
followed laws and Constitution.
He read the Constitution. He met with lawyers, constitutional lawyers of the Constitution. He knew exactly what he was not allowed to do and what he was supposed to do. And he did what he was supposed to do. Like, Mike Pence is not a bad guy here. Anyone who wants to paint Mike Pence as a bad guy is... You're so up your own liberal ass.
He is a not so great guy. In this current situation, if we zoom in, not a bad guy. Yeah. On the whole, not so great guy. Zoom in on this one incident, did the right thing.
I don't have a problem with Mike Pence.
So
I say this all the time. I don't know anything bad about Mike Pence.
Yeah. It's a little Q&A, right? I'll ask the question first.
I do not have a problem with Mike Pence.
Yeah, little Q&A, right? So, first, what was it? This is like a Jeopardy ding show. Ready? You ready?
Sure.
First, what was it that President Trump asked Vice President Mike Pence to do?
He asked him
Get his coffee.
to deny the
Certification.
the collegiate. What's the word?
Electoral.
College. He asked him to deny the Electoral College vote and send it back to the states.
Okay.
And Mike Pence went, no, because that's not the way this works.
Yeah, because he literally does not have that power, right?
He just, well,
no, he does have the power, but that would be unconstitutional.
in a certain reading, that would be okay. In most constitutional laws, no, he does not have the power to do that.
Yeah. So, good answer. By the way, you didn't say what is, so you lost. But, you always got to preface with what is, but that's fine.
I'm glad Alex Trebek is
understood
dead.
about Jeopardy rules. Like, it's a statement, and they're like, what is government insurrection? And they're like, are you asking the question? I thought you were
And they're
asking
like,
the question.
Donald Trump.
Oh, you didn't say what is, so the points go to Stevie.
Fuck! I lost $40.
So he said no, I can't do it, and then
Yeah,
literally, like
He
I was
said
watching
no.
the news.
No.
He said no.
I wouldn't do it. Not he
he said-
can't. He said no, I wouldn't do it. And then
So
his boss went, "You pussy," and he went.
As soon as he said that, Donald Trump went on Twitter and basically, and in the rally when I was watching the rally, he called him out and basically stated that he was an enemy of the group.
He was a coward.
And he was no longer on his side because he basically said, "I'm not breaking the law for you, dude."
He was a coward. He called him a coward, or if he was brave enough to do it. If he was brave enough to
break constitutional law. So then when he's sitting, and so that's why these people were calling for also to capture him, the vice president of your group for the past 4 years.
Mike Pence is literally like, if you were to be like 3D print a conservative, it would be Mike Pence. Like, do you all understand that? Like, if you were to 3D print an American conservative, Mike Pence would just shoot out of that printer.
You're correct.
To answer Ramball's question, what history books will look like in 15 years, a lot of this shit will be gone due to revisionist history.
Yeah, the only people that are going to be teaching it are me. Well, no, it depends. It depends on who is the secretary of the Department of Education at the time that they make these new books.
It's not Davos. It's not Davos, that's for sure.
When they make these new books, most states won't even take them and or adopt them because they can do what they want. And then also, if states do adopt them, most schools, because they're under budget, won't get them anyway for the next 30 to 40 years. So that way, they're always 30, 40, 50 years behind. Because there's most schools in the country that are being taught by history books from 40 fucking years ago.
So
and the end of the book is Y2K. Because guess what? I graduated in 2011. What was my senior government book? Y2K.
I love the idea of kids learning like 9/11 and be like, it was a Tuesday. Continue on.
Well, it depends. Like, if it was a super Republican hardcore like legislation that then makes those books and puts them out, this ain't gonna be in there. And also, they're gonna have to write a whole new history book just for 2016 and on. Like, there's one book just for 1836 to 2016, and then 2016 to 2025 is going to be its own fucking volume of books.
Are you enjoying this?
We're not going to get there anyway.
It's just not going to be.
We're definitely not getting there. The Earth is apparently spinning 1.34 milliseconds faster than it should be. There's a black hole changing the colors of stars in our system. This is it, boys.
We just voted a 90-year-old president, so you know.
No, how old is Kamala Harris? That's what we voted president.
Yes, we voted Kamala Harris into the presidency. So
pretty much.
As we're coming to a close, and by the way, when I say we're coming to a close, I mean another 40 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
That's what we do on this podcast.
That's funny as fuck.
It's true. So I want to keep reading this article here.
The GQ one?
Huh?
As we come to a close, I want to read an article, motherfucker. Which one? The GQ one?
Yeah, I want to, because that was just, I'd only read up to how they planned it. Like, there's still more information on here.
I wish I could smoke in my RV.
Cody,
You can't smoke in your RV.
Keep in mind where you're reading it from.
Like, yeah, it's GQ. Like, these people are obviously, they weren't at the rally.
Okay, like they are liberal as fuck. Like,
well, yeah.
I read the Washington. I read the
right
Washington Post, and the Washington Post literally just is jacking it right now. They are just fucking jacking it as this presidency is crumbling in the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, this guy
Like,
right
they-
here obviously was not at the rally. Like that. Yeah, I'm settling that. Him and
I
his.
can't wait
frock.
for their impeachment coverage.
Oh. Oh, and then the 25th. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get the 25th Amendment.
Yeah, I don't
thing?
think we need to. We don't really need to spend more time on the GQ article.
Oh, I love the 25th Amendment. I love it. It's my
Yeah,
favorite.
I forgot about the 25th Amendment. Never mind.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. Do you guys like my cyber glasses?
Oh, they're
Yeah,
beautiful.
your Google class.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, the 25th Amendment, which they were talking about enacting, which I don't think they would because it would literally take longer to write it and then vote on it than it would for him to just come out of office.
They're threatening to impeach him. Are you kidding me? Shut the fuck up and just wait for the new president to take his fucking position and stop it! You
So I
own
don't
the government, you dumb cunts!
I don't think it's appropriate.
They're saying it would set a bad precedent if they didn't try to impeach him again.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You impeached him on nothing. And this impeach him. But if you were like, oh, he sneezed in a Russian fucking parlor and they impeached him for that, and they're like, we're gonna impeach him again, and you're like, give him 13 days. Give him 13 days. It's like having a terrible tenant. That's all it is. It's like it's like owning a house and having a shitty tenant for the next week and a half. Just get him out. Just get him out. Do you understand
Are you
that?
saying President Trump is going to start punching the holes in the wall?
I'm saying President Trump is going to bring cockroaches. All right? Do you understand that? I am
I don't think
upset.
the statement of they is correct. I think the people who were saying about the impeachment was just one or two on the Democratic side that don't really understand how it works.
It's Pelosi, dude. Are you kidding?
Was she the one that mentioned impeachment? Because I know she talked about the 25th.
Nancy Pelosi got her position after the Civil War. She's that old. The Crypt Keeper saw her, and she was like, "Oh my God, you old bitch!" She's so old.
Tales from the house.
Exactly. She's been in the government forever. Do you understand that? And she's like, "We're gonna impeach him again." And I was like, "Why? Why?"
She's sitting
To
there.
waste taxpayer dollars.
You did nothing the first time. You did nothing the first time, you stupid milk cow.
Milk cow?
I don't care. I don't care. Why are you threatening? Why are you threatening? I'm so upset. Why are you threatening to impeach a president who's going to be non-existent? And we talked about this. We talked about this. We talked about this. Like his brand is so
Done.
It's done.
If this man ever thought that he could run again in 2024, which was his intent.
Not going to happen.
Bro, please.
Not only has he ruined his own brand, but he's really damaged the Republican Party as a whole. So it's
So they did it so
forward is
bad
very different.
that now the Democrats
I don't think so.
the majority
You don't
in
think so?
the House, and they hold the
'Cause
majority.
I thought you agreed with me on that topic, that he's done some pretty good damage to the Republican Party.
He has. He has not ruined
Now you're confusing
the
me.
Republican Party.
I didn't say he ruined it. He did a lot of damage.
No, I think so. He did so much damage that I think he actually impacted the Georgia runoffs in a negative.
He did.
Yeah.
And that was his lasting,
Of
whatever.
course, he thought that he was helping or trying to just not help, just Trump things.
And he'd be like,
Let me help you.
When you're at a rally for an election, that literally decides the who holds the Senate, right? But then you tell the people who you're supposed to be.
I am the Senate.
The Senate.
When you're standing in front of a
no.
that you're trying to convince to go vote,
We shall follow your
and then
career
you're
with great interest.
prefacing, telling them to go vote for your Republican Party, that the election that they previously voted on was fraudulent. I don't think those people are then going to go vote. That's
I'm
like
stuck
if,
in a shitty smile.
that's like if the army was to look at us and be like, "Hey guys, you need to work hard for your PT. But hey, by the way, on your last PT test, we just gave you all 160s. But work hard on your PT so you can do better next time. We're still only going to give you 160s though." Like you wouldn't do it. And
What
then
are we taking, Randy?
you know for a fact, Rambo, you know for a fact there was one fucking Star Wars nerd in that siege, and he stood at the speaker spot and was like, "I am the Senate."
I hope it was Buffalo Bill.
Oh, I hope so. Buffalo Bill, man. Buffalo Bill and his Rough Riders, because you saw that there was more than one, right?
Yeah, they caught that dude though. He was his father's like a judge in New York, and they found that dude.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Well, I mean, so we were talking earlier with I found this. So here's a picture of them with the mace.
Okay, it's like Cheeto dust. They're just spraying Cheeto dust.
Industrial bear mace. Yeah, but look, like the wind was not blowing in their favor. So like he blows out, it's just coming right back into everyone. So,
but everyone should have been safe. It only works on bears.
Yeah, right. So the dude wearing the mask, he's like, "I have a mask. I'm fine.
Bears and Democrats are the only ones that will cry.
If it lands on me, it's fine." Could you imagine just being the person behind him? Like, yeah, we're going to yell at the cops. We're going to get in there. And then someone whips out the bear mace into the wind. And you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit!
And you bear mace everyone in the circle.
You single-handedly ruin the insurrection party for everyone else.
I have a 14-month child at home.
I'm guessing Trump isn't going to waste his pardon on the Tiger King if he has to pardon himself, since Rambo picks up Carol Baskins.
I don't think you can yourself prior to being. I don't think like he can do like give himself a get out of jail free card.
No, he would have to relinquish power to Pence, and Pence would have to pardon him, and he already said he's not going to do that.
Yeah, it's not like stocks. How you can be like, hey, I want to buy it at this. I want to put like an advanced buy rate later on when it gets to that point. I don't think you can be like, hey, I'm pardoned if I go to jail, just like in the future. Like I'm just gonna put that in there.
But it looks expensive, and he wants to say something. Go for it.
He took his glasses off.
I did because I was.
He's ready to shit on something.
Yeah. You're not going to find a president to imprison another president, because what that does is everything that president does or did. I'm sorry, while he was under oath or whatever, it nullifies it. And so you're not going to excuse the president. You're not going to charge the president as a criminal. You're just going to go, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, no, they're going
to your goddamn library and get the fuck out of here.
This is literally the most...
immediately going to charge him with crimes.
This is the most Italian shit I've ever heard of. No. Is the government's going to be like, Donald Trump, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and go away. Do you understand me? Go the fuck away. I hate you. Go the fuck away.
Yeah, but you do know that they're immediately going to charge him with crimes in February. They're already going to. Immediately. Especially because in the Mueller report and everything else, like, they're immediately going to charge him.
What Mueller report?
So
there was
nothing that's before, not to bring up old shit, but with everything that happened.
Sounds like you're bringing up old shit. You sound like my ex-girlfriend.
The investigator, right? If I remember correctly.
Sounds like you watched 90210. Faggot.
I just think it's funny how.
So,
God damn it! Now I gotta delete this.
Nope, too late. You fucked up.
Because you can't control your fucking mouth. So with that,
he's British.
He did say that the reason why he's not, or they can't push forward with what they have in that report is because they can't hold a criminal case against a sitting president. So they have to wait. That is his direct quote. They have to wait. So once he is no longer the president, they're going to charge him with all of the crimes that they have accumulated. I'm not saying the crimes that he's done, because obviously you are innocent until proven guilty. But all of the evidence and everything that they have accumulated through the last 4 years, they're going to move forward with it. They're not just going to be like, Donald Trump, go in the corner, go away. They're going to charge this man. They're going to take him to court, and they're going to do what they tried to do the last 4 years. They're not just going to put him in a corner and be like, he doesn't exist anymore. That's not going to happen. But also, he's never going to get pardoned. So that's going to happen. And if you are president and you disagree so much, and your entire voting platform disagrees so much with who was the prior president, and you said everything would become then nullified, isn't that the quickest way to just get everything away? Is just imprison the fucker? And then be like, yep, everything he did is gone instantaneously.
He's not going to prison. Like,
no,
they can charge him
no,
whatever.
it's not.
No. They would
whatever.
No, they would never put him in prison, because then that would not take away his power. I think they would sue him so much that he would then lose everything that he had. They would in place such astronomical fines that him and his family wouldn't have anything left. That's what they would take away.
They're going to try to keep his family from getting into government. They don't care about the money. They don't care. No one cares if Donald Trump makes money. No one cares if Donald Jr. makes money. They don't care about that. It's their influence on American government.
Because when anyone talked about why they supported President Trump, what would they say? Oh, he was a self-made billionaire. You know, he's a successful businessman. Well, can't be a businessman.
Took a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah, just a small-time loan of a couple $1 million from his dad, and started everything. Yeah, you know, model. But that's other shit, right? But I don't think it's just going to be. He's not just going to quietly wander into the night like a geriatric.
No. I am.
What's your prediction first? Go for it.
I have no clue. I think he's actually going to start.
I think he's going to become the next Alex Jones, to be honest. I think he's going to come out with his own media thing, his own media company, or at least he's going to.
No.
And I think he's going to be the next outside hardcore insurrection.
He wants to make money. You know, he wants his whole thing, his brand is about making money.
Yeah. And he already has the ear of all these people that would buy a fucking chop.
No, not anymore. Cody, not anymore. What just happened? You have no idea. Just cut him off from so many people.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping
his brand is damaged. I hope he starts an OnlyFans, Grandma.
OnlyFans Donald Trump.
What's your what do you think happens? What do you think happens Inauguration Day? Do you think it goes smoothly? Or do you think fucking Insurrection 2.0?
Oh yeah. Oh no.
I don't actually believe in this, but yes. I just thought, I was like, OnlyFans for Donald Trump and his followers, only clans.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Nope.
Joe Biden will become president, and that's insane. That's insane.
But the question is, do you think Insurrection 2.0 happens?
Oh, the inauguration is going to be
insane.
Oh, he's not going.
That's the next.
He's not going.
Well, no, we're not talking about Trump. We're talking about the supporters. Or that's what I was bringing up.
Yeah, supporters.
Yeah. And I don't think anything.
Current
really
sitting President Trump is not going to be the issue on the inauguration day. What's going to be the issue is these radicalized people.
Homeland Security and the Secret Service is going to have that fucking entire city locked down tighter than my asshole. Like, just fucking locked.
That's pretty loose.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello?
I had a better joke, but it would have 100% gotten me canceled, so I left it alone.
That's all right. I already said the bad word.
Nope, mine would have been
That
worse.
hasn't happened in 200 years, Andy.
We either gotta bleep it or we gotta cancel this episode. So
I'm not gonna
we'll
believe
see.
anything. You think I'm gonna go back in and edit this fucking thing?
I said a word that I don't want to be said on the internet.
You've said it so many times before.
Shut up, pussy.
Yeah, that's better. You fucking idiot. But, yeah, I don't think they have to worry about anything with the inauguration. I don't think that's going to get crazy. I think the security and everything else, I think that'll... No.
The inauguration's going to be fine. Joe Biden will be sworn in as president. Woo! I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face.
No, that one's rough for me, too.
Oh, President Biden? Yeah. That's difficult.
That's not a real
I only have so much more time that I can shit on him. He's a racist. You've been duped.
When President
He's
Trump...
a panderer. You've been duped.
Yeah. When President Trump was elected, I was in awe that it happened only because he was
fucking dementia. You've been duped.
Yeah.
Right? And then now
he was set dressing for Obama so that old white people would vote for him. You've been duped.
Yeah. And then President Biden is now being elected, and I'm in awe only because it's not like with President Trump that he's drastically underqualified. It's that he's so drastically involved, not even qualified or overqualified. He's just so not the person that you want in charge of you. And
would you say he's underqualified and overcompensated?
Yeah.
I would say he's the wrong person for the job.
I don't want to give him that seal of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's going to be a thing from now. We're going to give people the Uno seal. The person of the week.
And overcompensated. All of Congress.
Yeah, fair.
Just solid seal of stamps. So, Rico, what do you think is going to happen from here on with it?
I think if we make it through Inauguration Day without any issues, then I think it'll be fine. It'll be nothing whatsoever. I think the Inauguration Day is going to be the biggest test because no matter how much security you fucking have, if these people are going to be so intent, so emboldened to do something like this, they're going to pull it off on Inauguration Day.
Nope. I think this
is different from doing it with the Capitol building. They knew how many people were going to be there, but that's a police force that was not prepared for what was going to happen. Compared to inauguration, a militaristic united force of security.
Yes.
That is 100% prepared, and they're prepared for shit that the people who would then do the protesting and attacking hasn't even prepared to think of.
You don't think JFK has security?
They're prepared for North Korea to send a ballistic missile. That's what they're prepared for. And everything in between and far beyond. People, the protests are like, well, we have guns in a car. We're just going to ram shit.
We'll see. If I could live stream the inauguration, I would, because I think for me personally, that's the biggest test to see how far this shit goes with people trying to fight back for the government.
What day is it? What day is the?
I don't remember. It's in like 6 days or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, I'm doing some Googling. January 20th, Wednesday. Yeah, I will 100% be working, so I won't be able to do that. But
I'm stuck again. God damn it.
Hey. Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, you've talked enough.
All right.
I mean, I did just read something, just a headline. CNN put out that extremists intensify calls for violence ahead of Inauguration Day.
No.
But I mean, that's CNN, so of course they're going to fucking put that.
Correct.
We're at a point, though, where the coup, the rush at Capitol Hill, that was a turning point. That was a big deal.
It is. It's definitely not a day that should just go away. Like, people should definitely keep this in mind. Like,
I hope for
I
our
saw
country that nothing happens, but
I saw one Congress
the
lady,
best.
she posted that these people were to be compared to the terrorists on 9/11. Like, let's cool the fuck down there for a hot
that's a
second.
stretch. That's
Yeah.
a huge stretch. That's a bend and
Yeah,
reach.
Yeah, a reach. That's fucking. She got the gopher graspers, and she's trying to go for the top shelf. Like, that's fucking far. But I mean, and anyone who is calling these people terrorists, like, that's exactly what happened. Yes, like by definition, this was a terroristic act. Like, that's the point of that. That it's a very broad title. But pay close attention, people. We will try to be paying close attention to it as well as things evolve. And we'll go from there. Hopefully, I hope that inauguration goes fine.
It will.
I hope it goes
We'll
fine
see.
and that everything kind of goes back to normal to the point that I hate this person, you hate this person, or I hate this person, you like them, and we
Right?
go, we disagree, cool.
Yes, that's all I want. That's all I
But what
want.
I don't want to go away.
I want Red Rover.
Yeah, but what I don't want to go away is the fact that people are upset and they're willing to make it heard and they want
You're
change.
right.
That's what I don't
You're
want
right.
to go away. I don't
No,
want to go
no, no.
back how it was
You're right.
before President Trump,
Okay.
to where if we would just bitch to each other and we all felt helpless because we're like, well, Congress doesn't fucking listen to us, but of course they don't listen to us.
They
So
don't.
what the fuck can I do? And I hope that now, like through President Trump's presidency, people are now like, they don't listen to us, but I'm not okay with that. And I'm going to change that. And that's with Congress and Senate and the president himself. Across the board, Democrats and Republicans and independents and libertarians, they've all come together. Well, I mean, libertarians have been on this for a hot minute, but they all come together and went, they don't care. We need to come together and let them know that we care about ourselves and that we are aware of what they're doing, basically. And so I hope that doesn't go away, but I do hope that the division goes away and we can all come together like we used to and just be like, you don't like this person, I like this person. That's fine. Let's find the middle. That's what I hope happens. But who knows? That's my closing thing. I hope that we get back to a little bit of normalcy, but with a willingness to change what we need to do.
God, I wish.
It's a long time away, but I hope that we can fucking get there. Because honestly, y'all trying to make me move to another country. That's what you're trying to do right now. I love this country, but I ain't trying to live out fucking Mad Max.
Only Honduras has like decent
All
gun
right.
laws, and they're pretty shitty. So. I already checked.
Man, I'm from Mallorca. Fuck y'all.
Let's sign off.
Well,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my closing statement. What about you
Fun.
two, gentlemen?
good night.
What do you got first? Do you have anything to say?
I feel like I said what I needed to say.
I mean, you did.
Love each other.
That is not a statement that I would have expected. Go fuck yourself, San Francisco.
Also that. Why do you vote Nancy Pelosi in charge all the time? I don't understand it. Love each other. Fuck.
Peace.